Okay, I'm inside of a cave. It's a short little cave. It takes me about 15 minutes to get to the other end, 15 minutes back. So I might be in here a little less than half an hour. It's a mostly easy cave, mostly walking. A little bit of trip hazards on the floor. So I'll have to watch where I'm going, but I was planning to watch where I'm going anyway. It's mostly a dry cave here at the entrance, but what's weird, it's only one level, but it's pretty steep. There's a couple of short lava falls. So down in the lower levels, it's actually pretty damp. Like there's literally mud on the floor and so on. So you see here at the entrance, of course, there's a little bit of moss. Just a little bit of moss, but it's a big entrance. I almost walked in, but I'm gonna wear my backpack as an example. Smaller caves, I have to take off my backpack so I can fit through the tight spots. Okay. Mostly I'm gonna stay to the left, go, clockwise. So there's the entrance. There's the way I came in. That's the only way out, but that's good to know. Oh yeah, if you're afraid of spiders, don't watch this video. There are dozens of spiders in this cave. Like right now on the wall, look at this. Harvesting spiders. It's weird. When they move around, especially in groups, they shake kind of like jello. It's really creepy. All right, so look at the wall here. There's like a ledge up there. Notice how the lower part is brown, and I'm sure if that's dirt or what. The ceiling's a little bit rougher. Yeah, wow. Kind of neat little cave. Like I said, it's kind of easy. Ooh. See if I can look around here. Oops. Make sure I get the focus. Notice how uneven the wall is. It's kind of like that cave in the movie Alien, you know? If I see any big eggs, I'll remember to turn around and run. I haven't been watching the TV show. I don't watch TV, but yeah, I saw the Alien movies. And yeah, they're definitely high quality. Oops. Science fiction. Whoops. There's a couple bats in front of me. I'm going to try to stay to the left and let the bats pass me. Hopefully the bats can avoid me. Okay. Notice in here, just a little bit of color to the cave. So here, this is what I was saying, is kind of a lava fall. It's sloping down pretty good. So I'm going to head on down here. Okay. Notice the cool shape, how the floor is pretty flat, the ceiling is pretty flat, and then the sides, the walls are kind of rounded. Oops, darn it. Notice the floor is covered with, what's it called? Sand in some places. So I'm going to try not to trample that. I'm going to mostly stay to left, but I do want to avoid disturbing the formations or anything. Notice the ceiling, how the rock itself is kind of purple colored, and then it's got sort of a pale tan sand or dirt on it. Makes a cool pattern. Really pretty. Okay. And again, this light stuff here, this is cave slime. I'm going to try not to trample it too much. Obviously, I need to get through somehow. So I'm going to just try to go through the middle here. So again, look at the floor here, how it's kind of covered with dirt and sand. I don't want to trample that. So I'm going to go left. Before I do, I just want to show you how big this room is. So here the cave is like a couple dozen feet wide. Ceiling's less than 10 feet tall. There's another spot where it's purple. It's almost like there's a layer that's purple or something. Kind of cool. All right. So I'm going to head on. I'm going to have to crawl through this pile just a little bit. Most of this cave is walking. There's a couple parts where I kind of have to duck down a bit. I'll try to be gentle with the cave. Good news, it's not too slippery. Mostly because I'm not stepping on the mud. Really, I'm trying to avoid the mud. This is kind of cool. Let me go to the right a bit. Look at that. It's a little bit of white stuff. Mineral deposit on the ceiling. It's kind of cool. But most of this white stuff in here is just cave slime. I don't know how old this cave is. So obviously it's been here a while. Okay. I'm going to stop here a second to look around. See how there's like mud all over the floor. I'm going to try to walk on these rocks over here. Play hopscotch to avoid the damage. Look at the ceiling, is kind of colorful. Let's see if I can focus better. All right, I'm only shooting at f/5.0, so not everything is in focus. Hopefully someday camera technology will improve so I can, get everything in focus and have good low light performance. In fact, what I'm thinking would be really cool, it's like a compound camera. Like have a 3x3 or 4x4 grid of small cameras. And then mathematically compute that. Well, one, you could even make it 3D. That's another story. So there's a trail here to the right. So I'm going to go ahead and follow the trail. Some of these rocks on the floor are loose. I gotta be careful that I don't lose my bearing. I don't want to trip, obviously. So let's check it out. Now all of a sudden, I'm past the breakdown. Nice smooth floor. Super easy. Just for a little bit though. There we are, back to the breakdown. How do you like this? Now that's a cave. Okay, I'm briefly gonna turn up my light to 100%. Hopefully there aren't any bats in here. So you can see how big this cave is. It's a little foggy. How's my breath? I think in the past few months, it's only rained like 1 or 2 days. But yeah, definitely some moisture underground. Wow. Some of this is really pretty. I'm gonna turn my light back down to 30% though. All right. I like to keep it at 30%. That's a good balance of making sure my camera doesn't overheat, stuff like that. Now I do want to go over here to the left wall though. Let's look at this. Like I said, the bare rock is gray. But as you can see, it's like white slime. Somebody put a green sticker up there. I didn't know it. But anyway, I don't think I can get that down if I try. That's like 8 feet up. But yeah, lots of mineral deposits right there. Water must have brought it in through a crack. Notice the color here. It's like a brown formation. Same sort of thing. It's like a crack in the wall ceiling. Water brings in something from outside. Makes a cool little pretty spot. Ooh, Notice how tall the ceiling is here, but then the floor gets lower and the ceiling gets lower. So there's like another lava fall here. Like I said, it's entirely plausible. There is an upper level there, but no way in. Or there could be a separate cave on top of this one, but I haven't looked. I'll have to ask somebody who knows what they're doing. Is there any caves around here? Most people around here are like, what caves? I don't know anything about a cave. Never mind. I like the ripple effect though. It's like raging rapids, red rapids. Like I said, that white stuff on the gray rock down there, that's cave slime. That's something alive, something growing. Kind of cool. Here's a lighter colored stuff. I wonder, I think iron is red and the calcium is white. So if it's brown here, I wonder if it's a mixture of both iron and calcium or something. Or if it's something else I never heard of. Hopefully it's not plutonium or something. Anyway. Seriously, there are a couple of caves like this. It reflected so well. It's like, oh man, this cave almost glows in the dark. Turn off your light. Nope, doesn't glow in the dark. It's really bright, but it doesn't actually glow. I was gonna stay left, but there's this pilot break down here. Trying to avoid trip hazards to an extent. But look at the cool shapes on the ceiling here. Just like the movie Alien almost. Fascinating. Excuse me. Notice in the floor here, it's rough on both sides, but they got this cool ripple effect in the middle. Remember, it looks like a smiley face, you're looking up the tube. Looks like frowns, you're looking down the tube. Obviously, I'm hiking down the tube. A little bit of a color on the wall there. There's people's fingerprints. People using their fingers to draw in the cave slime like it's finger paint or something. It's not technically causing damage, but it just kind of, violates zero trace. Speaking of zero trace, so look at this. In the middle here, where it sags down, the floor isn't flat. The floor is deepest in the middle, where the ceiling's also tallest. So I want to walk in the bottom, the middle here, but the thing is there's this dirt or mud, it's got all these cool little holes from water dripping. It's technically a formation. I don't want to befoul that. So I'm just trying to stay to the side, like skipping over back and forth. Try not to step on that. Some places it's inevitable, but yeah, I'm gonna do my best to not trample this if possible. Sometimes there's room over here on the left side. Sometimes there isn't. Okay, so this is interesting. Look at this. The floor here is red, and it's covered with a layer that's like olive green. We're almost to the end of the cave. It's basically filled up here. It's like whatever flow created this cave, and then something else blocked off the end. So this is literally the end of the cave. I don't know if bats and other rodents could go any farther, but I know I couldn't. So, time to go back. See how I'm doing for time. Okay, it's been 14 minutes. Cool. So I should be able to get back out of this cave in one video. Each video could be up to half an hour long. It's simpler to keep it one part than separate parts. Notice how the floor here is actually very rough. But like I said, and then the mud here, it's got the cool pock marks from water dripping from the ceiling. So that's what I'm trying not to trample. So I'm trying to walk just to the left side of the mud. It's kind of inevitable that I touch it though, right at the edge though. Hopefully I can at least keep my damage localized and minimized. I don't know if I've ever seen any pictures of what it looked like when it was first discovered. If the mud was any more interesting. Some caves where the mud is much deeper, it's made cool shapes that look like really, really good sandcastles. But they're super fragile, so we have to keep those caves a secret. Make sure nobody decides to go in there and befoul it. You'd be amazed how many people find something like that funny. In fact, one cave, they won't even let me upload my videos to YouTube at all because they don't want people to know that cave exists. It's like, what cave? I don't know anything about a cave. Anyway. Okay, I'm going to turn up my light to 100% for a second, just because I know it's going to last the rest of the way out. So, notice how foggy it is, so my light's actually lighting up the fog pretty well. Of course, that crunching noise is just some of the loose rock on the cave floor. Other than a little wear and tear, I'm not really causing any damage. It's not like I could wear bunny slippers through the cave or something to protect the cave. There's a breakdown pile. And going up this slope that's almost like a little lava fall. Wow. Here, there's the cool cracks on the ceiling. This part echoes really well because the ceiling and everything is so smooth. Oh, this is cool. I didn't see that before. At that crack in the middle, top middle, there's plant roots coming through. So that gives you an idea. This isn't a very shallow cave. The ground above us isn't very far. Cool. I couldn't tell you what kind of plant that is. If it's tree root, grass root. Darn it, my autofocus is being stupid. There we go. All right, here we go. Okay, I don't want my light to overheat, so I'm gonna turn it back down to 30% for now. Then when I get to another part that's really big, might turn it up again. Oh, this is cool. I don't know if I got that before. Look at the ceiling here. This little thingy hanging down. It's I think that's a calcium deposit, small mineral formation, as opposed to this other white stuff, this cave slime. I can tell by the shape. I'm not going to touch either one, of course. I'm going to kneel down here so you can look at the ceiling because I want to show you so over there, so look carefully at the different colors of the ceiling. Same thing here. Look at the different colors of the ceiling. How here it's kind of greenish, over there it's more purplish. Now I couldn't tell you why, but, well, different substances, minerals, so on. I'll tell you one thing. The best for caving point of view, the best inventions ever were the LED headlight, rechargeable battery, and four-wheel drive so I can get here. Anyway. Oh yeah, GPS. Oh yeah, and digital cameras, of course. Well, I'll tell you, if I had to shoot a video like this using 8mm film or something, wow. No, I wouldn't do it. I don't even know. Wow. Boy, that would be hard. Yeah, I'd probably do a lot of pictures, but I don't think I'd shoot any videos. But I'll tell you, if the computer had never been invented, so there's a nice our life would be so different. Now, whether it's better or worse is another story. Obviously, anything there are advantages and disadvantages. Like cars. Cars kill over 1 million people per year, but they're also very, very, very useful. Makes me wonder in the future, is there going to be another invention that's just as deadly as cars, but will tolerate it too because it's so darn useful? I'm wondering if we're going to, they keep talking about trying to make robots safe. What if we can't make them safe? But they're so useful, we couldn't go without them anyway. So, would we tolerate billions of useful robots, even if they killed thousands of people a year? Boy, that's going to be an interesting moral dilemma. I don't know if I'm going to live long enough to see that, though. There's already a lot of robots these days that look humanoid, but none are particularly useful, and none are particularly dangerous. When they start making, diesel-powered four-wheel drive robots with 20 arms that are 20 times as smart as a human, that's when you gotta start getting scared. The thing is, there's about 200 nations on the planet, so even if 90% of them banned dangerous robots, those other 10% could be a big supplier. Kind of like nuclear weapons. I think there's about a dozen countries that have nuclear weapons. But the question is, how soon are they going to be used on people? Hopefully never. But that's another story. Unfortunately, all the countries that don't have nukes, they're not really safe from the nukes. Not having your own nukes doesn't keep you safe from other people's nukes. Same thing's going to be true with robots. Even if you never own a robot, that won't keep you from getting killed by a robot, right? Interesting times. All right, here we are at the next lava fall. Oh yeah, I want to show you something here. Okay, if you're afraid of spiders, look away. So look at the wall here. There's a moth. And then next to the moth, it's like a dozen harvestman spiders on the wall. And then over here to the right, oh geez, look at all that shaking. Those are all harvestman spiders on the wall. They don't like my light. I'm going to try not to disturb them too much. I'll just stay here a couple of seconds to get them on video, and then I'll get out of here. I try not to disturb the wildlife, but oh well, it's a spider. Nobody cares. Anyway. You see natural light, so I'm almost out now. Trying to see if there's anything else up here worth looking at. No? All right. Notice up here the floor is covered in breakdown rocks. So even though the ceiling is smooth. So the question is, where exactly did these breakdown rocks come from? I know I didn't bring them in. Interesting. Huh, there's a squirrel or chipmunk ahead. Usually I don't see rodents in the cave. Oops. Okay. Okay, well, I don't want to disturb the wildlife, so this concludes my tour of this cave.